Welcome to the Writer's Life, a place where you get the sight, sound, smells, taste of my particular writer's life, and where you get the truth. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stab the like button, or punch it, kick it, and tap the bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on one single unbelievable life-changing video. So that photograph in the thumbnail, it's believe it or not, that is the dude, Preston Dunlap. Preston Dunlap. He's the guy who engineered the Space Force for DC. I did an article on him for Strategy Magazine last April while I was traversing all across Turkey. And it was a crazy time because I not only was doing like 3 major features for them that suddenly landed in my lap. I had more than a dozen smaller pieces I had to write for Scalefluence. Plus, I was trying to keep up with my fiction, and sometimes I'd find myself writing in the back of the vehicle. It's jumping up and down and all that sort of stuff. So it was just like a crazy time. I got no sleep, but I love that stuff. It was a great trip. Next month I'll be in Egypt, and I'm going to try to have most of my plate cleaned. But for sure, I'll have writing assignments coming my way, and I'll be wanting to keep up with the fiction, but it's all under control. All right, speaking of writing, the problem with being prolific, one of my publishers emailed me today, and he's like reminded me about some of the manuscripts I promised. And a few of them were meant to be reprints, new editions, rather, I should say. But there's some legal stuff going on, so I'm pulling them back. And if I do them, I'll do them under the Bear Media label. That way, I want to absolve them of any potential legal issues. So, but there are others. He's like, there's this one and this one, and this and this, and I have totally forgotten about them. Just completely forgot about them. Life goes on. As I write new material, I just completely forget about manuscripts that I have lying around. I have a Steve Jobs novel, a 60,000 word Steve Jobs novel, and I'm looking at it, and it says 2019 on it. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about it. Yeah. So anyway, I'm working on that one, and that'll be coming out soon. I've got there's a whole bunch of projects, probably 40 books or something like that. And I'm not kidding, that have yet to see the light of day. That, I could hand to my agent, and maybe he could find a public. But like I said, aside from the Moonlight books that I'm doing with Down and Out and the occasional psychological suspense thriller, I'm leaning more and more towards my Bear Media label, just so that I retain the intellectual property. As I get older, I really don't care about the accolades, like I said, and about the excitement of the acquisitions editor calling me and saying we love your book and we're gonna shit all over it and put it out maybe in 2 years. So that has kind of lost its luster for me. I'm more interested in protecting my intellectual property for the future, which is why I started my own company. But the problem with being prolific is just if you're writing new words every day, you just and then you set them aside and you write more new stuff, and before you know it, 3 years or 4 years have passed, and you're like, I totally forgot about that psychological suspense thriller I wrote 3 years ago, pre-COVID or whatever. Anyway, I'm sure other authors have that same problem. I'm going to be that guy that when I finally kick the bucket, they're going to find 100 manuscripts just collected dust. I'm sure of it. No question. But, my kids can publish them or whatever. They can take care of it and make money. So anyway, that's it for today. Sun's popping out finally. It's been a rainy spring day here. And I got to help my mom with something. So I got to go. But I will talk to you guys tomorrow on Friday. Wow. And I keep promising to do an AMA one of these days. Well, maybe we'll set something up for like the 1st of April type thing. All right. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And ciao, ciao.